Charities is what makes running even better when you associate it with the cause. So today we have for you 4 wonderful runners who have been running and raising funds for various causes. We have someone from the LV Prasad Eye Institute who leads the fundraising efforts for LV Prasad, and they do a lot of wonderful work for eye cancer for children. This is for children who are under the age of 5. They treat about 1100 patients a year with a success rate of about 95%. Can you have a big round of applause for that? And we also have Rahul from Let's Change. Let's Change is our technology partner who's enabling it and who's making it easy for all of you to donate, pick a cause, campaign for it, and just get the word out and raise as much funds as possible. So, since we're short on time, I'll hand over the mic to Karan Sundaresan, who's been running 50 marathons, and his target is to run 50 marathons in 50 weeks before he turns 50 on November 20th.
Here, and thanks a lot, Let's Change. I'm Colonel Sundaresan. I'm running 50 full marathons in 50 weeks in 50 locations. That's what's given on my t-shirt also. Okay. I started this on 11th of December, and I already completed 36 consecutive marathons in consecutive weeks. Atal Hyderabad Marathon is going to be my 37th full marathon. I intend to finish on 19th of November. On 20th November, I turn 50. Yeah. I'm running for a cause. My theme is Run with a Soldier, Run for a Soldier. I myself been in the army for 23 years. I'm raising funds for families of martyred soldiers, and the process is on. My Facebook page, Run for a Soldier. It gives details of each and every run. Anybody want to contact me, can contact me through that. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
I'll just ask a question to anybody, everybody, whoever can say, which part of the body you can actually use the way you are using it after your death? You're right, you know. So eye is a very important aspect of our life, of our human body. And LV Prasad Eye Institute mission has been to provide equitable and efficient eye care to all sections of society. LV Prasad Eye Institute was established 30 years back, and so far we have provided eye care to 2.3 crore people across India and around the world. The beauty of that is 50% of entire eye care, high quality eye care, has been given to the poorest of the poor at no cost to them. From the basic eye refraction to the worst eye disease, eye cancer, and if people go blind and if they have to be independent, the rehabilitation process. LV Prasad has been doing this past 30 years. LV Prasad has 174 centers across 4 states. 154 of them are in remote rural villages. Our goal is that nobody should be denied eye care, especially people who are living in the remote rural villages. Now, why am I here? You know, we all run for fitness, but when we are running for a cause, our speed, our enthusiasm is much greater, because we know that my goal is not just to finish 41 kilometers or 21 kilometers, but my goal is also to raise equal amount of money so that some person, some human being, any part of the world who's suffering, who has not the opportunities which I have got, and by my running, the resources which I raise or mobilize, they can be benefited. So that gives us an inspiration. So for that very reason, a lot of our doctors, a lot of our employees have been also participating in the marathon. And with partnership with Let's Change, we have created our own charity on Let's Change platform where the individual marathon runners can choose a charity. And I'm glad that many of them have actually chosen, and we are the second highest fundraiser on Let's Change platform. Through this marathon, we are raising 10 lakhs to support the children with eye cancer. You wouldn't have heard that cancer can also be caused in the eye. That is very evident, and we have every year 1100 patients who are suffering due to eye cancer. And all this 1100 who are, our past record, 95% of people have won the battle over eye cancer, and they are living, and they are living ordinary life as each one of us. So what is the role of LVPI in marathon? So the goal is that through individuals, volunteers, when they run, the amount what they raise are indirectly helping the poor people who cannot afford. So we are able to provide them free eye care without any discrimination between the paying and non-paying. And apart from the physical trauma, sickness, a child or a person goes through because of sickness, because of vision issues, there are other financial challenges as well. So our goal is that they don't suffer because of vision, because of financial challenges. So that's where LVPI has been providing eye care to people like that for completely free. And this is possible because of various support we get from individuals, through runners, through donors, through corporates. And that's where it's helping us to continue what we are doing. Thank you very much.
So I run for Isha Vidya. The mission and vision of Isha Vidya is to educate rural India and transform rural India. So that is the primary purpose why this Isha Vidya has been formed. And Isha Vidya has 13 schools in southern part of India, and there are more than 7,115 students or whatever in these schools. And 46% of the school kids are girls. You can imagine in villages, 50% of the kids are girls going to school. So that's a very strong statement to make. And also 61% of the kids who go to school are first generation school goers. So that means their parents, their grandparents never had an opportunity to see the school, but these kids are going to school now. So there is profound change that's been happening, transformation that's happening in villages where these kids can go to school, and then generations to come, they could benefit from this, education. So as I was saying earlier, there are 62% of the kids that are on scholarships. We depend on donations and sponsors from donors like you and corporations. So please be generous enough to do your donations. We have a booth here, right here, to my left side, along with the Let's Change. So if you could just go and do your donations and contributions, that would be greatly appreciated. And we also have a campaign that's been going on in Let's Change. I think we have raised so far 8+ lakhs, as part of this AHM campaign. And I think probably we are topping the list as well. So thanks to Let's Change, they have been doing a wonderful job in organizing and providing this platform for this fundraising. And I guess that's it.
Hello. As Akshay introduced, I am a nutritionist as well as a runner, and I'm also running for a cause. For me, running, yes, is part of a healthy lifestyle, not just eating right, but also exercising is part of a healthy lifestyle, and I chose running as one of the forms of exercise. But running for a cause takes it to the next level. When you're running, in my opinion, when you're running for yourself, you are doing yourself a favor. But when you're running for a cause, personally, it motivates me on the days to get out and go run, even when I don't feel like, because I have a bigger reason to run for. That's one of the biggest motivation. And as you also, as mentioned, it motivates to perform better, to train better, because this is when you run a half marathon or a full marathon, you don't suddenly decide I'm going to run a half marathon today and go and run tomorrow. It's a process of about 4 to 5 months, depending on how well you train. So during this process, what I did was use this opportunity to campaign for the message I believe in, like for the cause I am running for. And I am running for Gramya Resource Center for Women. This is a NGO founded by women. They work for empowerment of women, especially in rural and tribal areas of Nalgonda district. What these people mainly do, I'll just list few objectives or the kinds of work that they do. One is they work closely with the families. They offer family counseling, not just for women, but for the entire family, to educate them on why girl-child infanticide is wrong and why selling a girl child particularly is wrong, and how they can change their mind about it, because they don't do it because they don't like the child. It's mostly because of the circumstances. So these people also provide the resources and offer counseling in order for them to change minds of family members and make them aware of what helps them to make progress in terms of girl child. Along with the girl child, they also work with women when it comes to equal opportunities in terms of economy and cultural participation, as well as their social involvement altogether. So considering I am an independent woman who identifies with a lot of these importance of a lot of these issues, to move forward as a society, I chose to run for Gramya Resource Center for Women. And the final one regarding nutrition. So most of you probably are running for either half marathon or full marathon, and some 10Ks too. So most important thing about preparing for that is eat well today, get good rest and eat well afterwards. I don't think I should get into any more details right now. Thank you, and Let's Change has provided us with an opportunity to start a campaign. You all can go check out different campaigns that Let's Change has and donate for the cause that resonates with, that's something that motivates you. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My interaction with mental health has been very varied. So there was a time in my life when I thought people talking about depression or people talking about any sort of mental illnesses or prolonged sadnesses meant that they were losers, that they just did not have enough in them to push themselves to achieve what they wanted. Up until something happened to me personally. So I'm an ex-investment banker. I also have started my own business, and I'm an entrepreneur. And there was a point where I, for no reason, just started feeling extremely low on confidence, extremely low on my own, low on trust in my own abilities, and very asocial. I just would not want to interact with anybody, or just would not recognize my own behavior. And that kind of went on for about 3 or 4 weeks. And at that point, luckily, I was somebody in my close family circle suggested that I go see a psychologist, and it turned out that I was like mildly depressed. And it was a shock to me that depression and my name got associated with each other, because up until then I always thought I was an A+ personality, so I would never actually be in a position where I would feel depressed. Now that changed, and then my whole view on how I looked at other people, on my levels of empathy towards people suffering for various reasons, with depression or other kinds of mental illnesses. There are lots of mental illnesses. We won't have the time to go through them right now. And what it made me feel, and luckily I got the help that I wanted. I could afford it, so I got my help, and I got better within a span of about 6 to 8 weeks. So there was a 2 to 3 month period where I personally felt I could not recognize myself. Like, I did not know who that Hemant was, and I just could never connect to that person. I would not even, at this point, if you ask me how would I describe myself then, I wouldn't even have a description for it. And post that, I've had interactions with different kinds of counselors, different kinds of organizations, and one of the things that did work for me more in the long run was the work that I've done with Ashwasan Foundation. Again, the method is not, or the NGO itself is not the biggest point of conversation here, but for me, the conversation about mental health and the fact that it can actually happen to anybody, right from a kid to an old person. It need not necessarily happen only because you lost somebody you love. It need not happen because you lost a job. It need not happen because you had a breakup in a relationship. It can happen just because you are genetically predisposed to it. And I found out after my own case of depression that I am genetically disposed to it because I have a long history of depression in my family. So you don't control these kind of things. But unfortunately, when you talk about depression, especially in India, it's looked at even right now as something where people just look at you as if you're just wallowing in your sorrow for longer than you need to. Unfortunately, you don't have an option. It's like you have a leg broken. It might take 8 weeks to recover. A lot of people here understand hamstring injuries. I'm sure everybody here had a hamstring injury at some point or the other. It will take 8 to 12 weeks. You can't expedite that process. It's just like that. You have a case of depression that you go through. It will take the time that it takes. And you need to go through the process. You need to have a support network. You need to get help. You might or might not take medications. I did not. But there are lots of help available for people. I have had these kind of experiences not only in with myself, but a lot of people in my close circle, friends. Some really important figures in my life, like rock stars, for example, succumbed to depression, committed suicide. Chester Bennington is one of them. Recently committed suicide. He was the lead singer for Linkin Park. Lots of there were. Any of you guys know Kurt Cobain? Shot himself to death. So there are lots of cases of people committing suicide, and these are like the more prominent people. But unfortunately, suicide always has the root cause of that would be depression at some point. Alcoholism, the root cause would be somewhere close to that would be depression. Drug addiction, the root cause would be depression. Unfortunately, people just don't understand that, right? And there is no conversation about it, and government can't do anything. There needs to be civil society help to create awareness about things like that. And it took me a long time in my life to understand that, all of 30 years to get to that point. But my campaign is to try and create as much awareness about mental health that I can. So I'm running a half marathon tomorrow. Hopefully I will be able to run tomorrow. And my objective is to try and raise funds so that people who cannot afford treatment, mental health is an extremely expensive process. And for people who cannot really afford that, for most people, they don't even know that they are suffering. They don't even know that they actually are depressed or they're bipolar or something else. And to get the help reach them is the objective of my campaign. Again, my campaign is on ahm.letschange.org as every other campaign here. Feel free to donate. Every time you donate, the way I look at it is you literally free a person from their suffering, and who knows what the person ends up doing to the world. So please think about issues like this. You might know of people around you who might be suffering. They can get help. There are suicide lines, luckily in India these days, available. So if somebody that you know is thinking of or has suicidal thoughts and stuff like that, you should reach out to them. So my campaign is all about trying to create awareness about issues such as this.
Akshay, good afternoon everyone. Many of you are here to run, and you might be seeing the Bhaglo campaign, which is basically saying everyone to run for this city or run for yourself around. 20,000 people coming together in the today and tomorrow. What we are trying here to do is that a few of you, this is a major event, and what we are trying here is a few of you, a part of you, are running for someone else. That is the campaign what we are having a band here, which is called Bhaglo Dusro Ke Liye. We have Manian, who has been running for Isha Vidya. Isha Vidya is an organization which is helping out in the field of rural education. We have Hemant, who has been running for Ashvashan. We have Lahari, who has been running for Gramya. So what Let's Change is actually is Let's Change is a fundraising platform based out in Gurgaon. We are a tech for good company, charity ourselves. We don't charge any fees. So what we encourage is basically champions like these people. We provide a platform for free so that they can reach out their networks and then support the organizations that are doing tremendous work in the India. So what we did this time is we partnered with 47 selected NGOs, and we have one of the partner as LV Prasad Eye Institute, other as Isha Vidya, and the other partners I said. So ahm.letschange.org is a platform where you can find all these 47 partners who are doing in various causes. It's very simple, like it's not even late. Lari started a few weeks ago, just 2 weeks ago, and she already raised about 45,000. Manyan has been raising for past 3 weeks or 2 weeks in that, and he already raised 2.45 lakh, and he's very close to the target of 3 lakhs. Let's Change makes it really simple for you to create the campaign. All you need to do is log into ahm.letschange.org, put in your name, select an NGO, put in your name and details, put a date, let's say you want to raise about 10,000 or 1 lakh rupees or whatever, and spread this message on your social network, be it your Facebook, be it your WhatsApp groups or your email IDs. Let the people know that this time you're not just running for fitness or any other thing. You're running for, supporting the society. You're running for a reason. You're running for a cause. We make it very simple that your impact is not just bound to yourself, but it's reaching out to the society. And your network will help you support with their donations. Thank you very much, guys.
Raise funds, what are the strategies? How does someone who has a cause but doesn't know how to do it, how should they start? Of course they should register on Let's Change, but what are the other ways that they can do this to make it easy for them?
I think I'll just share what we did. One of our doctor was participating in the marathon, and he's well renowned, and he came, while he was registering, he came across Let's Change. Let's Change people contacted me, and then we set up a campaign for generating funds for eye cancer to support the children who are economically background, where we can provide them the complete care for free. So once we set up our campaign, so we had a campaign goal of raising 10 lakh rupees, and we started about 2 weeks back, and so far we have reached about 4 lakh rupees. The way once we set up the campaign, the money won't just come in. So although we have the need, we have the platform, and we want money to take care of the need, the money would only come once we spread the word. So the way we did it is we started talking and asking everybody to put it on their Facebook. Just if I keep it on Facebook, it will not, money still won't come. I'll have to talk to them. I'll have to send through WhatsApp, through other forums, through emails. The person who already knows that next person on the social media will have to sensitize them and say, hey, you have to do this. You know, because a lot of times we have good intentions. We want to do it, but then, you know, we just fail to do it because for various other preoccupied reasons. So the word, I mean, last 2 weeks, our doctors, our colleagues, our friends have been talking and helping and telling them this is an easy process, you know, this will help the children. So we were able, so just talking back and forth, asking again, have you done it? So, and sending them reminders has helped us to achieve, I mean, so far we were able to achieve 40% of our goal. And we have, you know, a timeline of 45 days. So we hope to achieve our target and most probably cross as well. So, you know, I think the tip is that we have all these platforms. Unless the word of mouth doesn't go in, unless we don't pursue people, it is very difficult to, you know, raise money. If I missed out something, you know, the other people can as well pitch in.
I think the key is having more people raise funds for you, as an organization. There are more than 250 runners running for Isha Vidya. So the key was, we want everyone to create a campaign and then raise funds. It's just, 5 people or 10 people raising, funds is not good enough. A bigger population has to raise funds. So that way, even a trickle becomes a large amount. Second thing is, all these are runners. They are not runners. They are all Isha Vidya followers or meditators or whoever. They are not professional fundraisers. So they are all shy asking funds. They don't know how to raise funds. So we have to constantly make sure and educate them and create awareness that asking funds is not something bad. It is not that you are asking for your own sake. You are asking for a cause, and educating the fundraisers to go and reach out to their prospective donors to get the donations probably is another key thing that we need to look at. Third, people forget, right? You send a request to your friends and families and so forth. People forget there are so many things happening in their lives, and this is one more request. There are so many things that are getting into their lives through WhatsApp and Facebook and every other social media. So this is another drop of information that they are getting through their friends and families. So the key is we have to constantly remind our prospective donors that there is a campaign going on and it is for a cause, and they could make a big difference by just spending 2 minutes of their time in donating. So I think that is pretty important as well. That's all I have.
I think those are all extremely important tips. The only thing I would like to add is to make your appeal personal. Unless your donor believes that you believe in the cause, it's unlikely that they actually make a donation. And I think making and especially talking about something taboo like depression for me had to be made personal. If not, I would just be sitting and giving yarn to people about depression. Unless I should share my story, and it took me a lot of debate internally to decide to do that. I don't know. I mean, maybe my future employers would look at my Facebook profile and think something about me. I have no idea. But that was a decision which took some deliberation. But eventually, I decided that I had to go do this, and that's the only way I would actually help the fundraising campaign succeed. So my only suggestion is to make this as personal as possible.
Any questions from the audience? Give them the one final pitch, ask them to donate.
Run with a soldier, run for a soldier. I'm collecting funds for families of martyred soldiers. I need not emphasize more on what the soldiers are doing at the borders. They're doing for all of us, they're doing for the nation. I understand you all appreciate the work. And even when the soldiers are alive, the families of the Jawans who come from the rural areas, they have a tough time. And when the soldier has become a martyr, it becomes very difficult for the families. They require to be looked after. It's a duty of each and every citizen of this nation to ensure that the families of martyr soldiers are looked after. Kindly donate.
LPI to provide cure for cancer in children. Yeah, so we have got a stall there. We have brochures, and if you like to take to keep it on your T-shirt, so please come and collect it from the stall.
Growing up in cities and towns, we never realized going to school is a privilege, whereas it is such a privilege for kids in villages. They don't have access to education, they don't have access to schools, and if they go to school, the generations that follow them will benefit, and they will live well. Support to Isha Vidya, and we have a stall there. You could come and visit them. Thank you.
Mental health should not be a taboo. I think that is something that every single person suffers at some point or the other in their life, and that should just not be a taboo. It's like talking about your hairstyle. Like everybody has one. And my campaign is to try and break some of these taboos that do exist in our society, not just only in India, by the way, across the world. And my appeal to people is to try and be a little bit more perceptive of other people's suffering. That just might not be because they're a boring person or a sad person or an asocial person, but just probably because they're suffering from some illness that can be treated. So I appeal to people to just think broadly and be empathetic towards people who might be suffering from mental illnesses. My campaign is on hn.listen.org. I'm supporting Ashwasan Foundation, which is an organization that I have personally worked with, and I've got some help from them myself. So thank you.
If not anything else, just the declining ratio of women to men that's been happening for last how many ever years should just motivate us to do anything that we can in our power to stop that from happening, and that's one of the things that Gramya works for. My campaign's name is Yes, I Run Like a Girl, and I am running to support a girl child. You can find my campaign on ahm.letschange.org. So please go ahead and contribute and donate. Thank you.
Everyone here has a lot of passion in them. All I request is a part of your passion to support any of these NGOs. This time, just don't run for a reason. That is what we are saying, bhag lo dusre ke liye. It is very simple. We can help you out how to set up a campaign. It does not take more than 1 or 2 minutes. Just come to the stall number, the charity stall A19. Our team is there. We'll simply explain, and we'll give you a band that you can tie tomorrow, and you can actually spread this message that you are running for somebody else this time. Thank you very much, guys.